Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cheryl Torres, and I'm going to discuss my topic this afternoon: approaches to teaching culturally responsive pedagogy. Culturally responsive pedagogy is an educational approach that acknowledges and values the cultural backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives of students. It aims to create inclusive learning environments where all students feel respected, valued, and empowered. So there are 7 key components of culturally responsive pedagogy. First is cultural awareness. So educators actively seek to understand the cultural backgrounds of their students, including their beliefs, values, traditions, and lived experiences. So here in first component is, in order for us educator must be aware in the different backgrounds of our students for us to include or to acknowledge their own beliefs, traditions, and own experiences. So example here is, the teacher may encourage a group presentation, which is the teacher allowing the students to perform about their interests or backgrounds, or empowering students to take ownership of their learning and share their uniqueness. So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa isang estudyante na sumayaw siya kung hindi niya yan hilig or wala sa kanyang tradition. And the next one is inclusive curriculum. Teachers adapt curriculum materials and instructional strategies to reflect the diversity of their students, incorporating diverse perspectives, voices, and examples into the learning process. So, nowadays, our curriculum is inclusive. So, we are open to all students na ikan sa different na mga traditions. So, example here is to design instructional materials na mag-suit sa needs sa atong students. And then, example sa science class na which is mag-integrate ang picture of cleanliness. So, we need to get them into the real situation like clean up drive. So, para ma-aware sila kung unsa ang importance sa environment. So, kinahanglan na i-hands-on natin sila ng activities. And then, next is student-centered learning. The focus is on the individual needs, strengths, and interests of each student, allowing them to connect their learning to their own experiences and identities. So here is student-centered. So, as teacher, mag-facilitate lang ta sa ato ang students. So, kinahanglan na atong students mismo ang encourage sa ilahang on learning or igo lang ka mag-support or mag-assist sa ilahang learnings. Number 4 is critical consciousness. Students are encouraged to critically examine social issues, inequalities, and injustices within their own communities and the broader society, fostering a sense of social responsibility and activism. So here in number 4, ang example niya is make them aware of social issues or about the happening or what's happening inside the community. Or another example is i-inform nato sila sa ilahang civil rights na, or we need to urge them na mag-appeal sila sa mga activities within their society. So, para mahimo sila maka-assess sila of social responsibility and activism. The fifth one is relationship building. Educators prioritize building positive and supportive relationships with students, recognizing that trust and rapport are essential for effective teaching and learning. So here in relationship building, so we need to communicate. Also, the parents or guardian to support the student's learning and development. So, dili na to siya makaya nga alone lang ka. Okay, naman na to mag-build a relationship sa ilang parents by contacting their parents or making them informed of what's happening about sa ilang anak sa school. And then, 6 is high expectations. Culturally responsive pedagogy maintains high academic standards for all students while also providing the necessary support and resources to help them succeed. So, dito naman sa high expectation, we need to challenge our students na mag-strive sila sa ilang studies or to mastery of their learning for them to make succeed in life. And the last one is cultural competence. Teachers continuously work to develop their own cultural competence, understanding how their own backgrounds and biases may impact their interaction with students and striving to create equitable learning opportunities for all. So here in cultural competences, we need to educate the cultural norms without fear of bias and discrimination to solve issues. So another cultural competences is a lifelong process that requires learning and self-reflection to promote equity, to reflect one's own experiences and biases. And here's the review of related literature from Kira Panyan, Cato College Education, 2022. According to her, our cultures are molded by our experiences, and it is the same for our students. So educators must create a classroom environment where they are able to connect their content with each student's culture, language, and experiences to bridge the gap between represented and underrepresented communities. So that will be all my report for today. So thank you.